in my head.
Have you ever been in the rush to get somewhere? Maybe like you're rushing to get to work and you're driving as fast as you can, and all of a sudden you're there and you don't really remember what happened in between and how you got there. Or maybe you're driving home from the store and all of a sudden you make a turn to go down a street towards somewhere that you used to live or a place that you used to go to, an old workplace, and you're like, why did I make that turn? Why did I put my turn signal on? I don't want to go there anymore. What is going on? Well, one possibility, of course, is that you're just tired, you haven't been sleeping that well, and so you're out of it. But that's not always what's going on. Sometimes when we're out of it, when we're zoning out, we call that dissociation, and it can be really scary when we're driving. Dissociation is basically not being attached to your body, not feeling like your body is a part of you, not feeling like you're attached to your surroundings, like you're connecting with your senses, and feeling like you're out of it. Sometimes we think of it as daydreaming. In more severe cases, it can be an amnesia. But this is what's going on sometimes when we're driving and we're like, where am I? What's going on? Why don't I feel like I'm even in control of the car anymore? And this is what makes dissociation particularly frightening when we're driving, is that we don't necessarily feel like we're in control. We don't know exactly what's going on. Sometimes we realize like we've changed speeds and we don't even know why we changed speeds. Or all of a sudden our turn is coming up and we weren't prepared for it. We have to make a quick decision on whether to make a sharp turn or to keep going. Dissociation is a little bit dangerous. In my life, I have dissociated a lot, and I think the scariest times for me were when I was on the highway. I was going faster than I probably should have been, and I wasn't quite aware of my surroundings. I wasn't aware of the people, the other cars that were on the road around me. And even though I knew I was still in control of the vehicle, I mean, there's some awareness when you're driving. There was always that fear of, like, what if I'm not paying attention and I turn the wheel, or maybe I missed the sign, or I'm swerve into something because I'm not quite there. Like, that's scary. Dissociation is also kind of freaky because people might be telling you where to go, or you might hear the GPS telling you what to do, and you're like, I can't concentrate on more than one thing right now because I'm barely even here to focus on the road. Dissociating while driving can also be incredibly frustrating because you might miss your appointment, you might become late to work because you missed the turn, because you weren't paying close attention, because you almost got into an accident and you freaked out and you had to pull over. Whatever the reason is, it's a real impairment in your life, so we gotta do something about it if this is something that you're experiencing, and it's not just because you're tired. When it comes to dissociating, what we need to do to work on it is to ground ourselves. What grounding means is that we have to get back in touch with our senses and get back in touch with our environment, whether that be what we're seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, or touching. In the case of the car, probably the easiest way is to get in touch with what we're feeling and what we're hearing around us. When it comes to what we're hearing, you may want to roll down the windows, turn the music down, and start to be in touch with what's going on around you. What does traffic sound like? Do you hear horns? What does the wind sound like going by? Not anything that's going to scare you, obviously. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're in a more dangerous situation to drive. But if it's tolerable for you, listen. Get back in touch with what's going on around you. As far as your sense of touch goes, feel your hands on the steering wheel. Maybe if you have like a cover on the steering wheel, consider removing it or changing it, or maybe adding a cover, whatever makes you feel like you can feel the steering wheel a little bit better. And get in touch with your feet. Now, don't like go pushing on the gas pedal or pushing hard on the brake pedal, but recognize that feeling on the bottom of your feet, that you are feeling those pedals. And if you're somebody who doesn't have a body with hands or feet, then use whatever parts of your body you use to drive. Get in touch with the ends of those pieces of your body so that you get the sensation of driving and so that you're connected with the experience a little bit better. Additionally, you may want to move your head around a little bit. Obviously, when you're driving, you got to stay focused forward and on the road, but if you can move your eyes around just a little bit and observe your environment a little bit more, don't get too fixated in that tunnel vision that they teach you about when you learn about how to drive. Make sure you see completely around your environment. That may also help you to get a little bit more in touch with what's going on around you. What's important here is to do things that are going to make you feel like you're in control of the vehicle, and all of these ways of reconnecting with the vehicle and reconnecting with your environment should make you feel more powerful and make you feel like you have greater control. Sometimes we dissociate because of a past trauma that we've experienced or simple anxiety. Our anxiety level gets a little bit too high, and so we shut down. That's typically what happens when we experience a trauma and we can't escape it. We learn to shut down, remove ourselves and detach ourselves from our body so that we don't have to feel the pain of what we experienced. and it becomes like a coping mechanism that we just regularly go to. We're not really thinking about it, it just kind of happens. But if that's something that's going on with you, you may have to go in and see a trauma specialist who can help you work through the trauma, and possibly, depending on your circumstances, medication may also be appropriate to quell that anxiety, just so that it's safer for you to drive. You feel a little bit better, it feels a little bit easier when you're driving, and there's no shame in that. A therapist, or more particularly somebody who specializes in trauma, will be able to walk you through these things. They'll be able to get you help so that you can get better and you can live your life powerfully, live your life in control of the car and in control of your entire life, because chances are if you're dissociating in the car, you're probably also dissociating in other places. I know this because in my own life I dissociated just about everywhere, in the car, at work, wherever I was dissociated, because just about everything freaked me out for one reason or another. If you want to learn more about dissociation or mental health in general, I have over 250 videos here. I keep making more. Hit subscribe and hit the bell after you hit subscribe to get notified each time that I do a new video. My mission is to humanize mental health. If you want to help me on that mission, you can head on over to Patreon. You can support me over there. I'll put the link above. There's some free worksheets if you want to work on some of your own mental health. If you're somebody who's dissociated while driving, what has helped you? Leave that down in the comments below so that we can all help each other and learn and grow together. As always, I'd like to thank you for joining me here, and I'll see you around next time, everyone. Take care.